Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you might have seen the title, we are going to talk about Tiny Cyberpunk, the new entry in the TinyD6 family. This is a great addition, of course, and I would like to make a dedicated video to it because there are some good surprises in it. PDF has 141 pages and it covers how to play, character creation, running Tiny Cyberpunk, enemies, talk about the setting that is suggested to this game, and also solo play. And this is the first time that we have built-in rules for solo in a TinyD6 book. And this is the special reason. So I already spoiled a reason that brought me to make this video. So let's just have a look on it, and if you like it, I strongly suggest you to go to ttrpg and get your PDF from there. So Tiny Cyberpunk getting started. So there is a brief introduction here. The rules, if you're not aware to it, they are very simple. Basically, everything that you try to do in this game is called a test, and you should roll by default 2d6s, and if you have a 5 or 6, it means that you succeeded in it. However, if you have advantage, you roll 3d6s. If you have disadvantage, you roll 1d6, and it is the same rule for everything in this game, even combat. There are special rules for hacking, firewalls, kickbacks, and so on. The usual stuff that we have in cyberpunk settings. The combat is the same rule, although now we have the takeover action. This is not by default. I'm not sure if we have this in Tiny Frontiers. I need to check. But if there is nothing there, they have it here. But I think there is something there. Now, I'm not sure. So, and then how we should handle the weapons, melee weapons, ranged weapons, they are basically the same. There is also like here observation about the ammo, that maybe you can make a test when you use a ranged weapon to see if you are out of ammo or not. It's a nice idea instead of tracking of units, like counting one by one. It's really boring to me. I like to roll dice and see what happens. And there is the same stuff like the ranges, close, near, far, to simplify the stuff here. There is also a new rule here, because I don't remember this, at least in Tiny Dungeons, called catching your breath, where you can spend few minutes, 10 minutes to recover 2 hit points, or to uncheck an armor box. And I like this. Armor box is basically one armor your armor has some kind of boxes that you can use to avoid damage, and depending on how tough your armor is, you might have more or less box to check. Vehicles rules also are created here, and yeah, that's it in the end as far as rules are concerned. And then we go to character creation, and it's basically the same. We just need to select an archetype, then select 3 unique traits from the trait list, or in the cyberware trait list also. Select a weapon group, and then select a weapon to become an expert. There's also the family trait. It's still here. Select the belief, a motivation to your character, and yeah, it's basically the same approach as any other TinyD6 book. These are the archetypes: street punk, firebrand, smoker, metalhead, burnout, rager, and rivet head. I think, yeah, only those ones. And then we have the trait list. There are the same traits and also, of course, additional traits. We have cyberware also that we can choose as traits to our character, and we have even some kind of drones here. And I like it. It's very simple but very efficient in the end, and I'm looking forward to try this out. Then it goes to how to run Tiny Cyberpunk, so very useful ideas and guidance to the GM that wants to use these in their games. And there is like Cyberpunk Spunk, Cyberpunk Criminal. Yeah, if you're not aware to the Cyberpunk setting, you can read these and get a great idea, or start making your mind, building a mindset around this setting. How to run adventures, and then it goes to the enemies, and we have like some options here for corporate, and then you have soldiers, then criminals, basically these three categories here. There are no magic in this system, so if you want to run some kind of shadow realm setting by using Tiny Cyberpunk, I would say that you need to mix this with Tiny Dungeons, because this is actually another good thing about TinyD6 system, because you can just basically combine more than one book into one single game. So you can use Tiny Cyberpunk together with Tiny Cthulhu maybe, and have some kind of investigational cyberpunk game with horror and supernatural stuff. But you can also combine cyberpunk with dungeons, and then you would have some kind of shadow run, right? So it would be great to see this also. Then let's see what else we have here. Neodymium. Neodymium. I do not know how to say this correctly. In my native language, it would be neodymium. I think it's neo in English, and genium. I do not know how to say this. I would spend maybe several minutes here, and I would still be wrong. But this is the setting that is proposed for this game. So there is an explanation how the government works here, how is to live there, and several stuff here that are very useful. And if you are a solo player, you can very easily use this also in your games, because the setting is already there. And as you see, they are not big texts here. They are really small, concise, just to give you an inspiration, an idea, and you can build on top of it. Then it talks about the districts that you might find there. And several details here, and optional stuff, optional rules also may apply to your game. So they are written in these black boxes here. Then some adventure hooks, and this is for us solo players. This is great already, right? So several stuff. I will just run through it, and I think, guys, you already have an idea what I mean with this book. Then for me the most precious part, and I'm saying that not because I need more solo rules or more solo tools, no, but because it's the first time. It's the first time that we have solo rules built in a TinyD6 game. So these are the official rules. So it is explained here what a solo play, if you're not aware of, the tools that we could use for it, and then there are some ideas on how to run it, the steps. I like because it's what is proposed here is some kind of a cycle or process that you should repeat all the time. Okay, you create an instant and then put obstacles there, then you have your action, and then your denouement. I think this is a French word. I do not know how to say this also, but it's like a conclusion or the results in the end. And then the scene shifts to another scene. So the proposal here is to play by scenes, as most of solo tools that we have, and you use the solo tools that are presented in the next chapter of these books. There is a briefly explanation of what is an instant, what is an obstacle, what is an action, and how to handle this. So useful oracles that they have in the book. Okay, so for oracles in the obstacle size, in the obstacle phase or stage or whatever step, maybe it's the better word for that, you can just use the action theme oracle and also the yes and no oracle. But if you go maybe to the closure, maybe you can just use something different. For instance, also there is like a scenario prompts, weather oracle. So there are a lot of stuff here. So let's just have a look already in the oracles, because this is actually the next session, and you have a yes or no oracle that uses 3d6s. I think I never use an oracle like that. Usually I just want 1d6 or 2d6, but never 3d6. But of course, as an optional oracle, you also have the traditional 1d6 oracle with a complication and an advantage if you roll a 1 or 6. Then there is a very good table here that one can roll a d6 and then also a d3 to see to get some kind of action and theme if you need something. And the words, they are the words here, they fit really well in the cyberpunk game, so this is good. You might need you can use it in other cyberpunk games also, or even sci-fi games. I think the words here, they fit really well in these kind of settings. And even if you're not going to use Tiny Cyberpunk, you can use this to run any other cyberpunk game in solo. Although Tiny Cyberpunk, it's way easier, way less rules, simpler, and I think this would be my choice to play it. Then social reactions. When you see someone, then there is also this table that you can use. Combat action, and I like this because if you face an enemy, most people have issues on deciding what the enemy should do. Should he attack? Should he defend? Should he run away? And in this case, depending on the health of the enemy, they can decide on attack you. But you can just roll a d6, and based it on the health, you can see what's going to happen. So if it's above the half health, and I roll a d6, and I roll a 3, for instance, it says that move, then roll on the morale oracle. So it's going to move. Okay, move to where? I roll in the morale oracle and I see, okay, it's aggression. So it will attack. Maybe I can just decide that he will flee, maybe. I do not know. So there are several options here, and the options, they change in regards of the amount of health the enemy has. Then there is also the morale oracle, and actually I just mixed the morale oracle here with the social reactions here. It's not the case. You move and then you roll morale oracle, and then you have here what exactly is the action. There is also this weather table, very useful. Usually when I play, I usually roll weather exclusively or most of the times in games, in fantasy games. And for some reason, I don't roll them very often when I play sci-fi games or modern games, and I think I should do it more often. So they have here the weather table and also scenario prompts that can be used for solo play, several of them, and I like them also. Then NPC details and quirks, criminal organization and gang names. And there are several other stuff that you can use here. When you create the criminal organization, you can roll like a name for them, what their goal are, and so on. Also corporate tables. If you want to create a corporate company, you can just roll here and create randomly the corporate, and even software names. I like it also. There are several combinations here that you can have. So I love tables, and these tables might seems to be very useful for me. And this is to be, if you are going to use the setting and the game, there are several stuff here, like restaurant name that serves the theme. So you roll, you might have a restaurant here, and even bands. So very unique tables. I've never seen a random table to generate like food or restaurants, and I never wrote on table also that to create random bands. So I like it. It brings a flavor to the game, and I think they are really good. This is the character sheet. So as if you're not familiar to it, but TinyD6 system, they are very, very, very simple. They are minimalist games. So this one, you can clearly see this in the character sheet, meaning that you don't need to limit yourself to only create one single character. Actually, you can create several characters and use all of them in your game, because yeah, the character sheet is simple. There are not too much to track. So this is Tiny Cyberpunk, and as I said, I'm really happy with it. I like it, the built-in solo rules. I'm looking forward to try it by myself, and I hope it is an option for you also. Just check ttrpg, look for Tiny Cyberpunk. I will try also to put the link directly to it in the description. And that's it. See you in the next video. Bye bye.